So let me blow your mind for a second. In July 2010, Bitcoin was worth 8 cents, and as of December 2020, a single Bitcoin is worth more than $20,000. Are you missing out on this investment? I think it's better if you learn more about Bitcoin before you jump on board. Let us begin. Cryptocurrency can be described as the internet's money. It is a digital currency that can be used for the exchange of goods and services. It uses protection methods known as cryptography to secure online transactions. Just like in my other videos, I will be using beginner-friendly terms to help you understand how Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies work. But we will most likely focus on Bitcoin as it is the most recognized cryptocurrency. In 2008, a mysterious person by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto developed and deployed Bitcoin. It was created right after the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. According to Investopedia, in July 2010, a single Bitcoin could be traded for 8 cents. Now keep this number in mind as you watch this video. Bitcoin was created for the sole purpose of peer-to-peer cash transaction, without the need of any sort of central authority such as banks or any third-party institution. This would also allow the user to electronically transfer funds with minimal transaction fees. In addition, Bitcoin doesn't have a central company that decides when and how many Bitcoins are produced. Now in the beginning of the video, you may have heard me say cryptography and probably called me a liar for saying that this video was going to be beginner friendly. So before you slap that dislike button, move to the left and hit that like button instead because I'm about to drop some knowledge. Beginner knowledge. Cryptography is simply the practice of techniques to secure communication, so it basically converts ordinary plain text into random text. It encrypts the message by replacing ordinary letters with other letters. See, this explanation deserves some likes, right? Maybe a subscription as well. Don't do it for me, do it for Chance and his insane amount of research. Bitcoin is 100% digital. Anyone can exchange this currency through a peer-to-peer network, such as sharing files, pictures, and videos. However, unlike a picture, Bitcoins cannot be duplicated. It is an entry in a collection of financial accounts, also known as a ledger. So how are all of these transactions tracked? First of all, whenever anyone sends a Bitcoin to another person, it is called a transaction. Transactions are kept secure through Satoshi's public transaction database known as the blockchain. This enables the existence of cryptography in Bitcoin. The blockchain is a huge global ledger and was created as a decentralized way so not a single soul or a group of souls have control of Bitcoin, but instead every single user retains control, hence peer-to-peer network. The blockchain collects a group of transactions in a block, and when it is filled due to its limited capacity, the block is then chained onto a previous block in chronological order. Each block is sorted with a unique identification known as a hash. You can think of a hash as a fingerprint. They will always be unique. There are several people around the world that keep track of the blocks in order to avoid any misunderstandings and fraud. As of December 2020, there is just over 300 gigabytes of Bitcoin blockchain data. Each block contains 1 megabyte of information. So you can see how much information has been collected since it first started. For every single transaction that a person does, they are announcing the following 3 things: the sender's account number, the receiver's account number, and the number of Bitcoins being traded. This is essentially how a bank works, and that is how criminals steal people's credit cards information, since all it takes is just an account number. But with Bitcoin, all your currency remains safe thanks to cryptography. When you are ready to start buying Bitcoins, you can open a cryptocurrency account, which is also known as a wallet. A wallet comes with 2 special unique keys. These 2 keys are known as a private key and a public key. To simply explain how these 2 keys work and why they are important, I will use an example. Chance would like to send 2 Bitcoins to Ted for his great services. In order to do this, Chance will need to take Ted's public key and encrypt the transaction. Once Ted receives the transaction, he will use his own private key to decrypt the transaction and access the 2 Bitcoins. So your private key is meant to be kept a secret and not be shared with anyone else. This key will allow you to decrypt all the messages and transactions that are sent to you. On the other hand, your public key is meant to be shared publicly. This enables you to receive encrypted transactions from other people that only your private key can decrypt. The private key is almost impossible to hack, making it more secure than a credit card number or a bank account number. Your public key is also used by users all around the world to validate the legitimacy of your Bitcoin transactions. This is done by solving complex math problems that cannot be done by hand. Trust me, I've tried that. Don't do it. These math problem solvers are known as miners, and in order to keep this video beginner friendly as I promised, I will try to explain the fundamentals of this mining process as much as I can. Miners solve complex math problems to make sure that all transactions are accurate. Then this data is put together into blocks and is added into the blockchain. Miners also prevent other Bitcoin users from double spending. In other words, they prevent fraud from occurring by disallowing the same Bitcoin be used to make different purchases. Obviously, with actual money, this is impossible to do, as when you buy something with $20, you no longer have those $20 in your hands. Unless, of course, you counterfeit the money or you steal it, which you shouldn't do. Mining consumes a lot of energy, and it's a really costly activity. Some miners spend thousands of dollars on high-powered computer equipment and rack up a hefty electricity bill in order to solve complex math problems. The purpose of Bitcoin mining is important not only because it discovers new Bitcoins, but also because it allows the payment network to remain trustworthy and continue verifying transactions all around the world. Of course, miners don't do this from the kindness of their heart and spend thousands and thousands of dollars without a motive, right? Once a complex math problem is solved, a new Bitcoin is discovered and is then awarded to the miner who found it. However, a miner is only awarded Bitcoins if and only if they are the first person to find a solution to a problem. Think of it as striking gold and first come first serve. In 2009, miners were awarded 50 Bitcoins by successfully completing these types of math problems, and also being the first ones. Now keep in mind, these math problems are no elementary questions. It's not even algebra or geometry or calculus. It's actually much more complex than that. That's why it takes an expensive computer to solve these types of problems at a faster rate. Remember, first come first serve. So keep this in mind, Bitcoin is also just like gold, it's a limited resource. So the reward is cut in half every single time 210,000 blocks are solved. As of May 11, 2020, miners are now rewarded 6.25 Bitcoins, instead of the 50 Bitcoins that were awarded back in 2009. Also, these complex math problems become even more complex as the years go by. Back in 2010, a basic home computer that your mom got you for Christmas could easily compete with other miners and easily generate 50 Bitcoins. But that's no longer the case. Investopedia actually states, to get a sense of just how much computing power is involved, when Bitcoin launched in 2009, the initial difficulty level was 1. And as of November 2019, it is more than 13 trillion. So think about that for a second. And as you may have guessed by now, this is causing a low supply of unclaimed Bitcoins. Just like gold, the higher the demand can cause the price to skyrocket. Investors are now looking into investing in Bitcoin, as in 2020 alone, the Bitcoin price has dramatically increased to over $20,000. Compare that to 2010 when it was worth 8 cents per Bitcoin. There are a total of 21 million Bitcoins. Some have been mined while others are yet to be discovered. It is expected that at the current rate Bitcoins are being mined, the last Bitcoin will be uncovered by the year 2140. Miners will be awarded with fees and tips instead of Bitcoins to continue processing transactions after the last Bitcoin is discovered. If you thought that the stock market was volatile,
you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Get ready to experience even more volatility with cryptocurrency. However, this video is long enough, so I will make another video explaining why cryptocurrency is more volatile than the stock market, if and only if people are interested. So let me know in the comments below. But I will say this, if you do decide to buy Bitcoin or any sort of cryptocurrency, remember to always buy fractional shares of it, and not to buy the whole Bitcoin itself, unless it's really low, as this may lead to overspending and potential loss of currency. For example, if you do decide to buy one single Bitcoin right now as of December 2020, you will spend $26,000. But what happens if it drops down to half, like it did 2 years ago? That would mean you overspent. It would be a wise move to not panic sell, as it could potentially go up and prevent yourself from losing $13,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Therefore, it is recommended for you to buy pieces or fractions of Bitcoin in a weekly or monthly basis with the amount that you are comfortable with investing. This could also apply to stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, and index funds as well. As a beginner, you should only be investing with your disposable income and not using your whole savings. Please do remember to give this like a video and to channel to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I will leave you with this thought before I end this video. Imagine if you would have invested $1,000 on Bitcoin back when one Bitcoin was worth 8 cents in July 2010. Quick math shows that you would have owned 12,500 Bitcoins. Now, how much money would be on your wallet today? I'll let you do the math. And trust me, there are a lot of people who did this, and were teenagers at the time, and are now considered millionaires if not billionaires. Thank you for watching this video, and always remember to be patient and to always take a chance.